Started. Okay, questions for Nikola Vucevic, please raise your hands and we will get started with Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Vuce, how did you feel about your group's playmaking, especially down the stretch in the fourth quarter?
I thought towards the end it was much better. I felt like we had stretches during the game when we didn't move the ball as well. We didn't create for each other as well. We're stagnant offensively, and it was hurting us. And I felt like in the fourth, once we started finally doing that consistently, we were able to build a lead and finish the game off. So it was good that we finished strong, and also on the defensive end as well. But yeah, so it was. It's important for us to play that way consistently if we want to have a chance.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Nick, this is just the second time since you've been with the Magic that you've started a season 2-0. Last time happened your first year here. How encouraged are you by this start?
It's always good to start on with 2 wins. I mean, it's easier to play from ahead as well, but it's still early. We still have a lot of work to do. So, we have to understand that, not overreact to it. But yeah, it's always good to start with 2 wins other than 2 losses. But I think that what's helped us is that we have the continuity of having a lot of the same players, a lot of same rotation, and it helps especially now that we have Cliff for a 3rd year. That also helps. You have that continuity, and I think it's given us a bit of an advantage maybe early on.
Back to Dan Savage.
Vuce, what did you see from Markelle, especially late in the fourth quarter? And when you're playing alongside a guy like that, how ready do you have to be for a pass at any time? And, I'm specifically referring to that no-look pass late in the fourth quarter to you.
Yeah, I'm always ready with Markelle. I think him and I over, the course of last year, we were able to build a very good chemistry on the court. And so in our 2-man game, I'm always ready to receive the ball from him. And a lot of times, even when he goes up or if he looks like he won't be able to, now I know that, still to be ready. So, but he was good for us, especially at the end. He had that and one in the fast break. He had a tough finish on that up and under he had as well. So he made some big plays for us down the stretch. But yeah, I think that the whole team is getting more comfortable to play with him. He's getting more comfortable playing alongside us. And as the year goes on, we're only going to, build that chemistry, all of us.
Kendra Douglas, West.
You kind of touched on what I wanted to ask you about, which is the continuity of this team, and talk a little bit about just how well or the potential that you guys have or potential you guys can be now that you guys are all together. And yeah, you've played 4 preseason games, but knowing that you've had these 2 games and you guys look so good gelling and meshing well together, talk a little bit about that potential of what you guys can be moving on this season.
And I think we can definitely surprise some people this year. I think for us it's just understanding that we have to do what works for us each night, and we have to work on it. We're not a team that can just show up and even if we don't play as well expect to win. We're a team that has to bring it every night, on both ends of the floor. We have to defend very well. That has to start there. And offensively, when we play like we did in the fourth, when we really share the ball, we play for each other. We have movement. We can be dangerous. We have a lot of guys that can score. We can score off many different actions, different ways, and so we're pretty good at executing our plays as well. So we just have to understand that we have to stay consistent with it. I think our issues has been kind of in the past 2 years since Cliff's been here that we have stretched a couple games where we play very well, and then we go away from it, and instead of kind of trying to grow as the year goes on. So something that we just have to work on, but hopefully we understand that now, and as the year goes on, we're only going to get better.
Josh, did you have another?
I did, yes, thank you. How encouraging has Terrence's start to the season been, Vuce?
It's been great, but I mean, nothing new for Terrence. I mean, he comes in, shoots the ball, makes shots, and that's what we expect him to do. So I mean, he's been Terrence, for the past couple of years, so we know what to expect from him. So nothing unexpected happening here with him.
Leonardo Torres.
Hi, Nick. In the bubble, there was no audience, but it was a small stadium. Does it now influence playing in huge arenas with very few people present, or it's not important?
Yeah, it's actually very different than the bubble. Like you said, in the bubble, it was a much smaller gym. It was easier to cover it up, with big screens, the virtual fans, the fake noise. And then you had like some people from the team and the ABA sitting courtside. So, since it was a smaller gym, you didn't feel as, empty. To where here now, it's much harder because it's a huge arena. It's hard to pump in noise. It's hard to, make anything virtual. So it's a little difficult. You have to bring, the energy from, between, by ourselves, the bench. But it's unfortunate, that the situation the world is in right now, and we can't have fans. But hopefully, soon enough, more and more cities will be able to get fans in because we it's one of the best parts of playing, professional sports, is we get to play in front of 15, 20,000 people. So, even when we played at home and we had like 4,000 people, it made a difference. There was somebody there was some noise, you feed out the energy when a good play happens or something like that. So, yeah, it's a little, difficult, but, we have to get used to it. And, but, we're just happy to be playing. And like I said, hopefully as the year goes on, more and more arenas will be able to allow fans in.
Okay, we have time for one or two more for Vooch. We'll go Roy Perry, Orlando Sentinel.
Vooch, Cliff has talked about, wanting you guys to play with more pace, not necessarily just, running up and down the floor kind of stuff, but how comfortable are you guys playing faster now, than you did last season? And how much of a challenge is it against a team like Washington not to get just caught up in running up and down the floor?
Yeah, I think it's about finding the right balance of, when to run, when to play at a faster pace, and when to slow the game down and, trying to do the work, the offense. So, especially against a team like Washington, they like to really get up and down the floor. It's important not to get caught up. And I felt like at one moment we did in the third, and it's hurt us. And then we were able to regroup and kind of play our game. But I think it all depends. I think a lot of it is going to depend also on our defense. If we're able to get stops, steals, rebounds and get out there quickly, we can use that. I think off made baskets, I think we can, try to play more, set plays offensively and slow the pace down. So it all kind of, as the game goes on, it all depends what type of game it is. So I think it's about mixing it up.
Last question for Nick Vucevic goes to Dan Savage.
Vooch, you're in a situation now where you play the same team back-to-back nights in the same city. You'll probably have to do that a number of times this season. What do you think are the key elements in that type of situation, and how do you go about making adjustments from one game to the next?
I don't think you make too many adjustments. It's a quick turnaround. It's back to back, so you can't really make a whole lot. There's a few things that we can look at and see what we didn't do well, what they hurt us with, and maybe we can adjust a couple of things. But I think it's just about just being prepared, playing your game, executing what you need to do and play. And obviously it'd be a little different. We've done in the past, maybe I think since I've been here, maybe twice or three times, and it's it's a little unusual, but it is what it is. I think it's just about being prepared and ready. But I think it's not like in the playoffs where you kind of go game to game and you can make bigger adjustment things here. Since it's a quick turnaround, just got to come ready to play and execute your stuff.
Thanks, Nick.
You're very